Good morning, church. I had a conversation with a friend who, we'll say, doesn't go to church that much. But we were just relaxing. And I thought I'd throw this question out there, didn't think much of it. And I was like, hey, if you had it all to do over again, would you change anything? What would you do different? And the reaction I got, they went real serious. They got pretty confessional, I'd say. Uh, and I was reminded of, I told them what I'm going to tell you. And I've used this in a sermon or two, but I think it's helpful as we are rounding towards the end of 2025 and the march of time just keeps going. We're experiencing time for some of us, it just goes so fast, you know. How do you handle when you look back, when you consider your past? How do you handle it? How do you how do you both take accountability for who you were and recognize that you've grown, that there are growth? You know, there's a problem when you look back at your life and you you weren't that person. Like you can't escape who you were. But at the same time, that you've grown into this whole different person. What do you do if you look back at your time and you have a giant regret? You know, it's popular as a Midwesterner to be like, "Oh, you just live your life. You can't be filled with regret." But I, have you been in a relationship that went on way too long, and you're just a marriage, and you said, "I should have been braver sooner." You were in a job that was sucking the life out of you, and you just kept thinking to yourself, how did I get here? You've got a couple of days sober and you're feeling like, how did I relapse? How did the drink or the drug pull me back into this? How did that happen? To ignore who you were. And if you're still like, oh, those are dramatic examples. If I pull up your junior high class picture, who in the world thought that haircut looked good? Hmm? But if you ignore that self, if if you try to act like that former version of you never existed, that doesn't lead to a healthy placement. Say nothing of the people around you, right? If you do not take accountability for who you were in that moment, the people around you can really build a resentment because they experienced that moment, that you. So it's you. Or how about this? People can't get past that version of you. Maybe you're a little older. Maybe high school is some years back and you see someone you haven't seen in 20 years and they talk to you like you were 20 years ago. Like it's not just like casual conversation and you kind of revert. I mean, there's some extent of that we all revert to who we were, but there's no acknowledgement that you've grown. I think, and for them, they have not experienced your growth, but you have. You have grown to become more aware of other people, of the effect of that substance that drink has on you. You've started to grow. You start to value things differently, like your peace. You have come to the awareness of what having a family looks like in your household versus what it was like under your parents' household. And now you are practicing this new practice. That is also healthy. You can't let go that you have actually grown and learned. So, how do we marry this? What I have said in that was a previous version of you. So when I came out of talking to that friend of from high school, I think he was stuck on 5 Lukes ago. I was that guy in high school. I was that particular guy, but I am not that guy anymore. Not really. And I think to carry both an accountability and a celebration and a recognition. Accountability to who you were, a recognition that you have grown. I think this is the only way. I think that is a very healthy way to approach the forward progress of time within you and the communities in which you live. Anyway, I'll see you Sunday.